International Incident Number 2. Jack Packard returned to London immediately for urgent assignment over Saudi Arabia. Signed the 21 old men of 10 Gramercy Park. I Love Adventure. The American Broadcasting Company presents a new Carlton E. Morse production featuring the international escapades of Jack, Doc, and Reggie. Tonight's incident is entitled The Great Airmail Robbery.
All out, please. Piccadilly Station. All out, please.
Cab, mister. Cab, lady.
All right, cabby.
Oh, cab. All right, yes. Take your luggage.
Thanks.
Right inside of you. You carry every bit of luggage, sir.
Yeah, my extra suit of heavy underwear.
You tell. There.
10 Gramercy Park.
10 Gramercy Park it is. Here we are, mister. A bit of an old heap of ancient history, if you ask me.
Oh, you're familiar with 10 Gramercy Park, are you?
Who ain't? It's been standing there since the beginning of time. All through the war, the Nazi Huns dropped their explosives like a bloody snowstorm, and people's houses was a-popping and a-busting like paper bags. But not one of them stingers ever come near 10 Gramercy Park.
Had the good luck sign on it, huh?
Yeah, more than that, if you want my opinion. Oh, thank you, mister.
Well, all right, keep the change.
You're a scholar and a gent. Should I rustle your luggage up the steps?
No, I'll take it, thanks.
Good going, mister.
Oh, hello.
Major Jack Packard.
That's right.
Right into the great reception hall, if you will, please. Right ahead, sir.
I was here before.
Very good, sir.
Again, the awesome beauty of this cathedral-like room gives me a feeling of standing in the midst of solemn, reverent things. The ceiling lost in the upper gloom, 3 stories above. Great leaded windows showing the color and pageantry of the Crusades, King Arthur's court, Charlemagne, the signing of the Magna Carta, all the history of the civilized world. And there on the giant tapestries are woven still more of the biography of human life. And the fabulous carpets on the floor and the period furniture. This reception room, this waiting room at 10 Gramercy Park was certainly designed to give interviewers the greatest respect for the 21 old men. The tapestry across the west wall is still drawn, hiding the great mirror. Hello. I'm to have company, apparently.
Reggie! Reggie York!
I say, who? Why, Jack Packard! Why, I say, of all the jolly meetings. Well, but where did you drop from?
I might ask you the same thing.
Oh, look here, this is the best ever.
Begging your pardon, but will you go inside and close the door?
Sorry, old boy. What is this? A bit of a monastery, what?
Well, never mind this room for now. Tell me about yourself. Where have you been since the war? What have you been doing?
My sales tap is the A1 Detective Agency still running out in Hollywood, California.
Yeah, the A1 Detective Agency is dead history. Will you answer...
Well, what about Doc Long? Look here, isn't Doc with you?
I don't know where Doc is. He disappeared out in the Orient after the war.
Missing in action?
No, just dropped out of sight. Same way you did, you no-account English renegade. What do you mean by it, anyway?
Oh, look here, isn't this a bit of the best? If we only had Doc with us.
Look here, will you calm down and answer some questions before the Inquisition?
Inquisition?
Yeah, you see that great tapestry on the west wall?
I do.
Presently, that'll be drawn back to reveal the largest mirror you ever saw. Covers that complete wall, at least 40 by 60 feet.
But what's it all about?
Well, it's only a mirror on this side. Behind the glass is a room where the 21 old men sit to interview us.
I say, there really are 21 old men of 10 Gramercy Park.
I guarantee it. From their side, the glass wall is a window.
Oh. So they look at us and we're a couple of blind mice, is that it?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I'll say this. You know more about it, what we're up against, than I do.
Just what do you know?
Hardly anything. I got this wireless out in the midst of the Gobi Desert.
What in blazes are you doing in the Gobi Desert?
Keeping off the desert tribes who thirsted for infidel blood while an old chappie with long whiskers looked for dinosaur eggs. Here, look at the radio message. Read it.
Sergeant Reginald York, you are herewith summoned to London in the name of peace and goodwill for the purpose of combating those who would pilfer and murder in the midst of today's utter chaos. Signed, 21 old men of 10 Gramercy Park.
A bit like being called to arms, what? Matter of fact, I felt a bit like Sir Lancelot, riding out to save beauty and goodness and perhaps recover the Holy Grail.
Surprised you took a message like this seriously.
I showed it to the old professor with the whiskers. Asked him how balmy a man could get. I thought it was a bit of a joke.
Yeah?
But the old man knew something. He grabbed me by the arm and hustled me into his tent and paid me off in full. Called the camel boy, had me on the way to the nearest airport some 200 miles away before I knew which end was up.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I went... Uh-oh.
Jove. They're pulling the tapestry back. Can you hear us?
Yeah. We'll be able to talk back and forth. This is my second assignment.
If only Doc were here. He'd love this.
Major Jack Packard and Sergeant Reginald York, it gives the 21 old men extreme pleasure to bring two such old friends together again.
Yeah, now if you'll only dig up Doc Long for us, we'll be complete.
Yes, we know about your Texas friend. We have been looking into the matter. However, leaving friendship apart, we have summoned Sergeant York to work with you on the next assignment, because beyond a doubt, it's a two-man operation. Dr. Paktan from India will give you your assignment.
Twice within the last 6 months, the London-Bombay 100-passenger airliner has been robbed in midair.
Sure.
As you are aware, this giant air cruiser not only carries 30 cabin passengers and 70 second and third class passengers, but delivers the bulk of mail and first class freight between the English Commonwealth and my country. On the two occasions of these villainous attacks in midair, the aircraft was carrying riches of unnamed value.
What do you mean, robbed in midair?
A plane appeared out of nowhere. A shot was fired across the airliner's nose, and radio communications ordered the craft to be slowed to minimum cruising speed. A top escape hatch was ordered opened, and all passengers and crew members were ordered to remain in their cabins or seats or at their posts on pain of having the craft blown to bits in midair.
This was done?
On both occasions, this was done. A rope ladder was lowered from the pirate plane. Two men dressed in black, leather jackets, and trousers with leather hoods and goggles came down the ladder into the liner, robbed the mail sacks, and then stripped the passengers of money and jewelry.
Sure. And then escaped back up through the hatch to their own plane, huh?
That is true. Your assignment is to take tonight's trip out on the London-Bombay plane, which is again carrying a sensationally rich cargo.
I say, bit of all right.
You will capture the two men who descend from the enemy plane. You will don their attire and return to the pirate ship in their stead.
Wouldn't you like it just as well if we mounted a cannon on the airliner and blew them out of the sky?
No, we must have that plane. It is of an unknown design, and it is our opinion that it is from some base or headquarters of far greater concern to the world than simply air piracy. We want the plane whole, the men alive, and such papers as they have aboard carefully preserved.
Well, we'll do what we can.
You will do better than that. This malignancy must be dealt with at its very source.
I say, Jack, talk about your luxury liner. If I didn't know differently, I'd think our quarters were a drawing room on the Super Chief out of Hollywood.
Yeah, not bad.
Regular three-quarter beds and plumbing facilities right out of tomorrow. Oh, Jove, here's a button I haven't pressed yet.
Hey, Reggie.
Nothing seems to be... Oh, I say. Will you listen to that?
You turned on the radio.
Horace Heights down to the Blue Danube at 23,000 feet in the air over Saudi Arabia. Well, if only Doc could be here with all his Texas boy amazement.
Well, we're riding first class. This is the cabin deck.
Don't worry about the steerage passengers, old boy. I was down there an hour ago checking with the co-pilot.
Steerage passengers doing all right, huh?
Millionaires have been traveling back and forth across the United States by air for the past 10 years with less.
Well, if you're ready.
Hello. Who's that?
I'll see.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Well, hello. You lost?
Not in the least. May I come into your cabin,
I
please?
said, do that.
Just a minute.
I was just saying to Jack, we have everything a man might ask for here in this cabin but a beautiful girl. May I take your wrap?
You're a forward young man, Mr. York.
I am.
You are. Making like a wolf. And I doubt if you even know my name.
But I say, you ought to come in.
You know who I am, don't you, Mr. Patton?
Yeah. This Judy Roberts. You won a British beauty contest, and this trip on the London-Bombay Air Express is part of your reward.
Oh, of course. You're the special guest of the pilot of this bellied dreadnought. I saw you at his table at lunch.
Good. Then it's worked. Even you two gents have been fooled.
Oh, now, look here.
Will you say that again?
The 21 old men of 10 Gramercy Park didn't give even you a tip-off.
21. Then you're one of us?
That's right.
A little thing your size, a little dame as pretty.
Oh.
Yeah. Where did that gun come from?
All right. So I'm a pretty little dame, so I'm pint-sized. I'll still come in pretty handy with a stinger of this sort in case of a tie, don't you think?
Yes. Ruddy gun woman.
Put it away, Judy. We believe you. We just don't understand the need for reinforcement.
I'm your secondary defense in case of surprise tactics. The 21 old men decided on me at the last minute, just in case there might happen to be someone connected with the enemy who rides the ship as a passenger.
In other words, Reggie and I will be able to cope with the two pirates who come down the ladder from the attacking ship. But we might need help if there are members of the gang planted in the passenger list.
Right.
The girl at our back guarding against the assassin's knife.
Furthermore, if there are agents on the passenger list, they are to be taken also.
But why a girl?
A girl's just right. If there are gangsters on board, they're going to be on watch for government undercover men. They'll examine every male passenger with suspicion, but who's going to give a second thought to anything as dainty and feminine as Judy here?
You can take me to the cocktail lounge and buy me a cold, pink drink with bubbly beads on top for those kind words.
Shut off the radio, Reggie.
Righto.
Oh, before we go out, there's one thing.
Yeah?
You've made all the necessary arrangements with the pilot.
All set.
Well, I guess there's nothing else.
After making such blimmin' many arrangements, the Jolly Roger of the stratosphere will probably shun us like false teeth in a soup plate.
He's not supposed to know a trap's been laid.
He'll strike this time if he ever intends to strike again. We got a payload that'd come close to breaking the Bank of England if it were to be lost.
Really? I didn't know that.
But why? I mean to say there are other ways of shipping precious cargo.
Done on purpose. Tempt our pirates. Make the bait so alluring it can't be resisted. Well, shall we go to the cocktail lounge?
Oh, yes, please.
How far are we from the place we should expect to take?
Hey, Reggie. Keep your voice down in the corridor. You got the key?
Quite.
Okay, lead off, Judy.
They don't waste much space on corridors in these airplanes.
Who spends any time in corridors? Here we go up forward to the lounge.
Live music this afternoon in the cocktail lounge.
Well-filled lounge.
But they're so quiet.
Overawed at sitting in a modern lounge and sipping a cocktail at 23,000 feet.
Perhaps it's the pressurized cabin that makes them so restrained, huh?
Oh, and it is good music.
Oh, it is, at that.
Mademoiselle, monsieur, please to come this way if you will.
Thank you. Come along, Judy.
This will be convenient.
Good.
May I?
Oh, thank you, Mr. York.
Your order, s'il vous plaît.
Robert,
A pink lady, please.
a martini, very dry. 4-1.